It is 1848, and Mexico is looking like it's still there. Mostly, there should have been a war that knocked out the whole top half, but we've been able to maintain good relations with both France, and we're improving our relation with the USA, so we're keeping alive that way. And with no Santa Anna, we don't have the up and down in politics that he brought to Mexico. His opportunism, when we consider that he was president of Mexico 11 different times between 1836 and 1853 or so. 11 different times. He would become president, claim he fixed everything. He took money out of the treasury, waved goodbye, put a vice president in charge, retired to his country home. The vice president he put in charge was going, oh my gosh, everything's a mess. People would be up in arms, and Santa Anna would say, why are we up in arms? I will depose the person I put in power. And then he took over and repeated and did that stuff. Oh, but now there's other times, though, where he didn't get to save the day, where people blamed him for what was going wrong, and he would have to escape. The way he would escape would be to follow the reverse route of the conquistador. It's called the route of the conquistador because Hernan Cortez landed in Veracruz right here and then followed a road through the Sierra Madre Oriental, through Puebla, and then on to Mexico City. This is also the same route that Winfield Scott took when he attacked Mexico City in 1847. He invaded at Veracruz, followed basically the same route that Cortez did, got into Mexico City. Well, the reverse route was the way that a president who was who was like one step ahead of the revolution would follow, and if he could get to Veracruz in time, he could jump on a slow boat to Havana and then plot his next move. Santa Anna would also plot his next moves, usually by going to the U.S. president and promising that whatever problems they were having with Mexico at the time, if they made him president of Mexico, he'd sort it all out and do things for America just right. He suckered America into that multiple times. And it's like, no, this time I really will fix things for America. Trust me. Wow. I mean, this guy, he had a field around him. I guess that's what a demagogue does. It makes you suspend disbelief and think, well, I guess maybe the 17 times you ripped me off before weren't a pattern. Sure, I'll trust you. So always beware of people who, keep asking you to trust them and stuff like that. But I do have one more story about Santa Anna, because since he's not in the game, I might as well tell it. There was one time, it was 1845. He was on the run, like, oh no, this time he didn't save the day. He had money with him, and he was trying to get to Veracruz to evade being captured and put in prison where he belonged. He disguised himself. Santa Anna and his disguises never usually worked out. At the Battle of San Jacinto, he disguised himself as a private and was captured. And the Texans found out that it was him because everybody kept saluting this private. Like, check him out. He's Santa Anna. Wah! Well, this time, he disguises himself as a mule driver. And he's driving his mule train across Mexico, like, oh yeah, I'm just a mule driver. Except he had a lot of money with him. He was spending money. Mule drivers never carried money with them. He gets to a little village called Chico, out in between Mexico City and Veracruz, and the population there are very suspicious of this mule driver with money who looks kind of like Santa Anna, and when they accost him, they check out to see, does he have a wooden leg? Because he had lost it. He had lost part of his leg in the pastry war against France in 1838. They knock on his legs, and aha, there's the wooden leg, right where it should be. You're Santa Anna. And he's going, oh, maybe? And they go, there ain't no maybe about it. We're going to do you a dirty here because you done us dirty. All right, now it's revenge. The people of Chico got a lot of banana leaves out. Why banana leaves? Because you don't torture people with banana leaves. You cook with banana leaves. And they got out their largest tamale pot. I mean, if you ever see a tamale pot, tamales are little things like you get like a corn husk or a banana leaf, and you lay down some cornmeal on it, and then you put a layer of meat on there. Very, very, very little bit will do. Roll it up and tie it off, and you stick it into a pot, and you have all these other tamales around it. So it's like if your pot's like this big around, you have tamales all over there, and then you put in another layer of tamales, and you get like a tamale pot can be pretty substantial, and you could fit nearly 100 of them things in there, and they're good. And you steam them up, and they're delicious little things, and they last forever. They're great for if you bring some tamales with you. They just sort of keep. It was how they did back from the Aztec days. They would make tamales, and although I should say Aztec really wasn't a word until the 1830s. They were just called the Mexica before that. But anyway, I digress. Since before Columbus, tamales were a thing, and oh my gosh, they're so good. Except some people mispronounce them and they call them tamales. And it's like no, it's or tamales or whatever. Tamales is how it is. That's the native pronunciation. That's the right thing there. Anyway. So they're going to make tamales, and they got their big tamale pot. Except their tamale pot is huge because it's for a village. It's a communal thing. And when you got a tamale pot that huge, they're going, you know what? We get enough banana leaves and enough cornmeal. We can wrap Santa Ana up and stuff him in the pot and cook him. And when he's done, we take him to the government and say, we got him. Here he is. He won't cause you any more trouble. Arrgh! It's borderline cannibalism. We don't know if they plan to eat the guy. It's definitely murder, but it could be justifiable if you consider that they were in a revolutionary state. But as it is, the local priest is not happy with this turn of events, and he approaches the group, and he's reminding them that you are Christians. And they go, yeah, where are you going with this? Well, in Christianity, we don't do this. We don't cook people in pots. We don't torture them to death. Why not? Well, we just don't. They've tortured us. Why should? Well, you got to turn the other cheek. Says right here. You got to turn. You got to be better than that. All right. We won't murder Santa Ana. And because of that priest intervention, Santa Ana was handed over to the authorities. They exiled him to Cuba, which is what he wanted to do anyway, but without his money. And they think he's done for good, but he comes back to ruin Mexico at least 3 or 4 more times. Anyway, but because Santa Ana died in this game in 1836 or 37, whatever, we don't have to stuff him in a tamale pot or argue about it or anything like that. That's off the table. And that's cooking with Dean here. Where was I? Oh, yes. So we haven't been conquered by the U.S. We do not have Santa Ana ruining things. What we do have going on, the eagle-eyed among you will notice that it says depression here. And I am at 10.7 out of 100 on my progress bar. We have got a lot of work to do here with this depression. I would love to be able to found a central bank. So that is the technology I'm researching. Right after we got the atmospheric pump, which is going to help out in our mines, and we've got some gold mines that are going to be making more profit. If you look at the very top there, it says plus 33.6. It was at like plus 15 before we got the gold mines converted. So this is going to help us get out. We're going to pay off our debts. And once we have our debts paid off, we won't be paying interest on them, and we'll be able to grow, and we'll be able to gradually move our economy better and gradually move our country better to a more, a higher standard of living and better human rights. That's my goal here with Mexico. No revolutions. And I know my philosophy is, hey, more money, less revolution. Right now, we're in a depression, so that is less money, more revolution, potentially, because people are going to be radicalized by the drop in standard of living. If we can increase the standard of living, if we can increase their happiness with the way things are, we can reduce our radicalization and come out of this without having a revolution. At the very beginning, we had a movement to enact federalism. And I know I wanted to have a unitary state, but hey, if it's going to make the people happy, let's federalize. And it did. Wow. we if I take a look over here at the radical chart, you can see this drop right here. Clunk, that's where we passed the federalization law. And you won't be able to see it, but that's why the loyalty number is right here, because it jumped. Maybe if I hover over loyalists. Nah, you can still can't see it. But anyway, yeah, loyalty jumped up because we passed the federalism. Historically, we're about on time for that. At the end of the war with America in 1848, there was upheaval in Mexico because the centrist government had failed to deliver the stability that it had promised. It had failed to protect the nation from the degradations of the United States. People felt it had to go. And what would it be replaced with was a federal republic, which is the way Mexico started back in 1824. After they got rid of the emperor, they had a federal republic until 1836, when it became a centrist republic after Santa Anna did his first big coup there. We are now having a federal republic. People are much happier with that. But we got it without a revolution. We got it by passing a law as a result of just saying, like, we got a depression, people are going to be up in arms, let's pass this law. Let's avoid a revolution by giving people what they want. And it turns out the strongest power groups that I have here, the Catholic Church, intelligentsia, and rural folk, they were all in favor of it. So it passed. Right now, for elected bureaucrats, if we click on this here, who's in favor? Catholic Church, armed forces, and petite bourgeoisie. Not the three biggest groups, but still, it's, if we say, 35.9 plus, that'd be 40, almost 50% of the country is in favor of elected bureaucrats. Whatever it does, if it makes the people happy, let's pass this. Let's give some more power to them. That's going to put the armed forces, they're at -1 right now. Hopefully they'll go positive. Petite bourgeoisie, who I blamed the depression on earlier, they got mad about that. Maybe this will patch things up with them. And we'll have a little quid pro quo or this for that or whatever it is. And we'll make it happen better without there being a revolution. And without having to stuff anybody in a tamale pot as they try to head to Cuba. The USA... We're neutral. We're getting better with them. Let's take a look at their attitude towards us. Well, let's see here. Let me flip over instead of go this way. Wait. I need to click on Mexico and diplomacy. Here we go. The USA views us as a potential threat. Well, we are allied with France and all. They also see Hudson's Bay Company as a potential threat, but they... Hudson Bay sees me as a potential threat. Well, let's look at the USA. What do they see? All right, so their relation towards me is controlled by them. The United Kingdom is friendly with the USA, and hover over France, they're a desirable ally as well. So hopefully, because I've got good relations with France and England, USA won't want to mess with me, and I'll be able to keep growing. I'm not doing any construction right now. I didn't pause construction. I just built everything, and I'm kicking back, and I'm waiting for people to be ready to invest again. As such, we are paying off our debt. When the Depression started, we were almost at $4 million out of a $4.42 million limit. We're now at $3.37 million of a $4.5 million limit. So our limit has gone up, and our capacity to borrow has also increased. We're still spending quite a lot on interest and things like that. Let's fix things. Let's make things better. Let's pay off that interest. And maybe once the interest is paid off, we could increase how much we spend on military and civilian or bureaucrat wages. So we'll get some benefits from there and a higher standard of living from them. Let's hope, because I can't drop taxes. They're at maximum right now, and our standard of living is at 9.5 after getting all the way up to 11. We'll figure this out. So that's where we are right now. We're enacting elected bureaucrats. Let's see how we do going forward here. And if there's another big event that comes up, you'll be the first to know, because I'll unpause the recording and just start right into it. Something has come up. We now have bread lines in Chihuahua. I had another event for bread lines in Texas. Might as well show you what it looks like. This is again from the Political and Economic Changes mod. I could say nothing we can do, they suffer, or hear me out, we don't. We actually spend it says $1,400 a week in government expenses, which I'm clearing 35 a week. I could afford that. It reduces the long bread lines by 1 year, so that helps out, and it increases my progress to recovery by 1. But I need that because that's going to help me get out of this depression faster. Let's give bread to the poor. And I feel that that is in line with the philosophy of how I'm trying to play Mexico. Remember, the top group in government right now, if you check over there, that's the Catholic Church. They're at 34.8% power. They're in government. They will be able to persuade their partners in government, the landowners and armed forces, this is the right thing to do. It's a charitable act. Charitable. And we're going to do some charity right here. So implement those measures to give them their food. As it is, enacting elected bureaucrats, it's going boom, boom, boom. Things, when you're in a depression under this mod, you get a huge boost on how fast things will pass. Wow, we're done. It's over. We have our elected bureaucrats. That's fantastic. I don't know what else will make them happy because I don't really have many other legislative options at this time given the makeup of government. Oh, but wait a minute. We do have somebody building luxury furniture manufactories and a fruit orchard. There's investment going on again. We have investment. We have people who think this is, maybe we're turning a corner. That's great. As it is, though, we're going to lose some tax revenue because by going with elected bureaucrats, our authority has dropped way down. So let's take care of that here. Ooch. Okay, tax on entertainment is no more. And the tax on wine, bye-bye. Okay, and I've already gotten rid of all my decrees. Are there any taxes we have? The lowest one we have is 2.88. Is there anything that's better than that? 2.57. And these are multiples of that. I am not putting a tax on clothing. It's bad enough that I have a tax on grain. I feel bad. Well, wait a minute, though. If I look at the tax on grain, let's do a little bit of math here. Maybe compassionate gestures can be made here. 13 divided by 5. That gives me 2, remainder 3.8, 2.6. All right, so it's about 2.6K per per 100 there. And if I look at the next ones down, I could see, well, that wine is almost 2.6, and that's less than 2.6, and then 3, 4. It would be a lot less than that, but by getting rid of the tax on grain, maybe this is something that will help the people out better, help make them have a better life. Let's take a look at our population. What do you spend your money on? Well, the biggest item here that they're spending on for both the middle and the lower strata is grain. If I got rid of the tax, it would be cheaper. Let's do that, and we'll just tax some luxury items instead. We're taxing services, liquor, luxury furniture, and now it's going to be, let's put some more luxuries on there. Wine. Transportation doesn't get us all that much because we don't really have that much transportation going on. It'll be better later. But entertainment, absolutely. All you opium fiends, we're going to tax you. Tobacco, yes, and media. We'll have a newspaper tax, which actually is slightly higher than the luxury clothes, but not by much. Let's not tax the newspapers. Let's tax luxury clothes. Just what the heck? Let's let people read. I've got my literacy up to 32%. Let's encourage more reading and not tax the the media here. With that package there, yes, we're collecting less per week, but we are paying off our debts. We're now at 2.83 million, and our debt ceiling has increased. This is a good deal. We could increase costs by 10 here, and Only 1.5? Really, our military wages, we could make the armed forces that much happier right now. And honestly, get some more authority from raising the wages. And when I click that, you may have seen this number jump up by another 100, so we can get one more tax in there. All that stuff I said about the media, let's go ahead and tax it. Never mind. We're doing a reverse face because we get way more money for that than we do for hardwood, which is 835. Never mind. We'll pay for our increase in bureaucracy with the tax on the media, and we'll just roll with that and see what happens next, guys. Hopefully, no revolution. Hopefully, fingers crossed, no revolution. I keep pausing and then this thing keeps coming back. Gold has been depleted in California. The gold fields are exhausted, and now we can build some gold mines. I could say unfortunate, let everybody leave, or let them be a little more radical and have a little less malice on everybody leaving. We'll do that. And then let's go to California, buildings. Here we have gold mines. I can have up to 6. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 gold mines. I love counting gold mines. It's going to be a hit every week, I understand. But the return on this investment is going to be a fantastic. We're going to do this. Why are they building so slow? I do have construction sector there. Okay, well, let's just let it roll there. They should be done in 35 weeks. Fingers crossed. Let's see how it goes, and if it does go, well, then we'll be okay. If it doesn't go, we'll unpause and everything. Okay, we have something that just popped up. A movement to enact homesteading. This is being backed by our agitator from the rural folk, Gregorio Trejo. He's the same guy that helped get us our federal republic and our elected bureaucrats. And homesteading was not something that this government would want to pass. And yeah, the interest groups will back it. So will the rural folk. If we pass this, we get 693K more loyalists. That's huge. If I check it out even further, rural folk and trade unions are in favor of it, but the trade unions are marginalized, not too concerned with that. The opposition, landowners, very much against it, -20, but they will not revolt. Look at that number. They'll just become very upset with things, but they will not revolt. That is huge. And when we take a look at what it does to their power, tenant farmers gives plus 25% landowner political strength. Homesteading will give political strength to farmers. If the landowners do not oppose it to the point of revolution, then we pass it, and then their power drops, and then they become less relevant. Now, political and economic changes mod will change up how they do things so that way they become relevant again, but it will enable us to go forward. We will make more progress without having to be authoritarian. This is a huge deal here. This is a huge deal. We're going to get land reform peacefully. It's 1849. Instead of having to have the War of Reform, which lasted from 1853 to 1857, instead of having to have that War of Reform, we are going to be able to get this done peacefully, where instead of having the conservatives and liberals at war, they are able to compromise, govern effectively, and maintain stability here. And maintaining stability is a huge piece of the puzzle in keeping the USA out in terms of the actual history of things, because that's what made the USA start to expand in Latin America. It said, hey, Monroe Doctrine, you European nations, stay away from all the Latin American republics. And the European nations were going like, well, they owe us a lot of money. U.S. said, yeah, but you made them borrow it. Yeah, well, anyway, they owe us money. We're going to go get it from them. And then the U.S. would try to negotiate with the Latin American governments. And if they were having high turmoil, they were getting frustrated because they would negotiate with one guy one week and then have to negotiate with another guy the next week and another guy because it's all constant turmoil. And so that, you know what, it would make it easier if we just went in and forced them to have a certain government, or if we just took over their customs assessment, or I don't know. And it made them a little more paranoid and have to take things over. But if we are stable, then they cannot accuse us of being one of these revolving door republics. We be a stable republic with a history of self-government, a tradition of self-government gathering here. And if we can avoid having a revolution while the USA goes into civil war, we look even better. You're like, hey, you know what? We had some rough years at first, but we got our act together. Look at you, man. You had a civil war. What's up with that? We had peaceful land reform. Yeah, bragging rights. Orale. So we are going to enact homesteading. Absolutely. You know what? Why don't we just watch it all the way through? Let's not pause. Let's just power through here. Y'all like to see the gameplay. We're going to do that. We're going to bring a revolutionary move to Mexico through legislation. Power to the people with peace. Okay, well, there's not a lot going on right now. I mean, we have great relations with Belgium. That's news. Farmers Co-ops champions it. Yes. Do we want to give them more political strength? Don't really need to. Or, well, it's either plus 10% enactment chance or we give them a stronger political strength. I want to give them more strength because if we weaken the landowners, they may drop out of government and these guys could be brought in. And if they're stronger, that's better. Let's do that. All right. Keep going through. We've got cordial relations with the USA. Now they can't attack us because we have cordial relations. They have to totally tank it and kick our ambassadors out, and then we'll know, something's up here. And we're now into law enactment. That's great. Meanwhile, our budget here, okay, we've had to borrow some more money. I understand that, but it's for a good cause. We're building gold mines. Once they're built, you're going to love them. You're going to absolutely love them. Look at that progress bar. Just go chug, 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 ding. And now Popular Playwright endorses reform. I don't need the prestige. I don't need to boost the rural folk. Now we already boosted them before. Let's take that plus 10%. And now we go to 45. Oh, this is great. Now we've got politicians now. Guys like Benito Juarez are alive at this time, and they would be the type of person to go, door to door, village to village, to meet with the people, to attract new supporters and increase enactment success chances, to really press the flesh, to really work things through. These are some of my heroes of Mexican history, the guys that really put an effort into being part of the people, bringing the government to the people, making it better for them. And now with those gold mines, we're going back to paying off our debt. We're back to financial stability here. Take a look at how we're progressing on the Depression. We're at 20. We're at 10 earlier. There, we are now. We're signing it. This thing here is going to happen here. Well, committee voting signing, or in other words, they're going to pass. It looks like the law will pass. And whoa, long bread lines in Baja California. Let's help the people. That's costing us $1,500, but it'll help us get out of the Depression. We like that. Bank panic in Durango. Oh dear. I don't have any banking. I don't have a central bank. I can't help them. So that means the state of Durango bottoms out in the financial sector throughput. No investment pool there. And the petite bourgeoisie take a -2 hit on their interest group approval there. And we're going to have a reduction in market confidence for the next 4 years here. Oh boy, I want that central banking. We are so close to discovering it. Oh my gosh. but can't win them all. As it is, there we go. Okay, we can now increase our education investment. Let's absolutely do that. Let's get more education. Yes, it's going to be more conversion as well because it is a church school, but most of us are Catholic here anyway. We're cool with that. Let's keep going there. Wow. Oh, hey. Whoa. Hoo. Ha. Homesteading has happened. Yes. And the landowner political strength should drop now. Farmer political strength should go up. Oh, wow. Do you see this little crossover here? Just with that bip, we now have more loyalists than we have radicals. And we did this in a depression. We didn't just avoid a revolution. We were able to bring the nation together and come up with something that's better for the people without a revolution, without firing a shot. I am so thrilled with this. This is nonviolence in action here. Yes. Oh, man. And the U.S. didn't invade us. More nonviolence. What's this national militia business? I don't know if I'm crazy about that. So let's take a look. On the one hand, it means I can have plus 100 maximum conscription limit. That's plus 50. I don't have much population, though. I don't really see how this is going to help me out here. Although it could get me, well, it'll get me up to 165 potential battalions mobilized. That could be something there. It does reduce the power of the military. And we're going to work on Guerrero here. All right, I have to click on that multiple times. Let's take one more look here. What will this do? This will radicalize the armed forces and the landowners. Not a good idea right now. If I look at, it's only going to give me 345k more loyalists. We could ride this out. It's too soon after the other stuff. Let's work on those gold fields. Can't just let them leave. And our credit is at 3.81 million. Let's build those gold fields. Go to resources, gold mines. We can build one. Okay, we'll build one. And that actually means we're still on the plus side every week in our work there. But this is such a great moment here. We were able to pass those laws. Yes, we're in a depression, but definitely, absolutely, our standard of living has gone up. We're now at 9.9, even though we haven't dropped taxes. We are getting, okay, we're getting more radicals, but we're also getting more loyalists. The whole thing here has been very good. We're federal republic again, and we got a bonus university. Yes, please. Oh, wait, and central banking. Oh my gosh. Oh my so very gosh. We can now found a central bank. Yeah. Woo. No more free banking. We can regulate. We can put things in order. Yeah, baby. No more free trade that's unrestricted. We're going to put limits on the industrialists. Woo. Power to the people. Okay. So what does this mean? It means we can, we get central bank fiat currency law and banking system. And we also get bypass political process for 3 years, which will drop our authority by 100, which we can handle that. We just cancel one of our taxes. I think the one on media comes to mind. We will drop in legitimacy, and the industrialists become more radical. But less than 10% of the population. And Jack, we need a central bank like now. Boosh! Oh, and for those who saying, isn't fiat currency? Isn't 1850 a little too early for fiat currency? Paper money had been a thing for a long time in a lot of places. Usually it was done when there were really tough financial times, and they didn't want to have a gold-backed currency because that was too volatile. They wanted to have a paper currency that they could control. Of course, they could also print too much of and go into hyperinflation. But if we manage things correctly, we don't have that happen. We would be able to maintain a good economy and prevent horrible things from happening. And with this fiat currency, we get more financial sector capability. The capitalists and shopkeepers are now going to be able to invest more efficiently, and we can subsidize our central bank. So we're hitting OK on that. And let's see what we can do here in Mexico. Let's see. Central bank. Okay. Oh, we need... No, we cannot build a central bank. We need our financial sector up to level 3. And then we can build a central bank. Well, what's our financial sector at? We don't have a financial sector. Well, guess what we're going to get here? A 1, a 2, a 3. We're building a financial sector in Mexico, and then we're building a central bank. I hope all your diplomatic plays go the way you want them to go. I hope you're able to build a central bank, and I hope I can get Mexico out of this depression. Until next time, we'll see you again, and of course, as usual, may you never get cut off in the middle of a sentence, or may you never accidentally switch over to your video view and then not have it alt-tabbed out, so that way you keep spinning around the world here like a helpless human person here. And as we're spinning, I'm at higher risk of having my sentence being cut off right in the